Okay, so my talk's about 3 ways to capture culture. It's a question I start with really is, how can capturing culture help your brand achieve commercial success? So it's quite important, commercial success in today's fast-changing world. So I really want to talk about, getting your brand, how to make it be more, mean more, and achieve more, by aligning with cultural moments at a time, when you could be massively outspent by your competitors. I mean, most of you here, and sorry if I'm talking too quickly, slow me down if I do, and most of you here work for entrepreneurial companies. By definition, almost, you are not the biggest spenders in your marketplace. The big, stodgy mega corporations have more money than you. So how do you get commercial success against that sort of background? So that's what I'm talking about. So I just want to take a step back first of all, and bear with me just for one moment, is this bit about your brand, okay? Let's start with what a brand actually is. And so you'll see. So I'd say that, there's many definitions of a brand out there. For me, it's a combination of your product, the thing you make or things you make, the story you tell around it, so what you tell people, why it's good, and the cultural context in which it lands or fails to land. So all those 3 things are important. If you've got a great product, a bad story, and it doesn't connect with the culture, you're not going anywhere. You think of like 3 levers you can pull. You can make a better product, you can tell a better story, and importantly for this talk, you can connect better with the culture. Let me start with a couple of examples of brands that have connected or failed to connect with the audience. So one that people talk about a lot is Patagonia. Good thing about them is that they connected their brand really, really well with the culture of their audiences. It's an outdoor brand that sells outdoor clothing and equipment for people who love the great outdoors. And we talk a lot about brand activism and purpose these days, but all the stuff they do around preserving the great outdoors, saving the wilderness, actually feeds directly into their consumer mindset and the reasons they buy that product. So it's complete synergy. Okay, so that's a really good connection between a brand and the culture of its audience. Now let's look at what happens when you don't get that. So another brand that you'll be aware of is Bud Light. Bud Light, it's a beer, for guys in middle America with baseball caps that drive pickup trucks. Okay, that's broadly what it is. And they used, transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney to front their new campaign, which is great if the marketing people from Bud Light were marketing to other marketing people and other brands, people within their community. That would be a brilliant cultural connection. For you guys in your baseball caps and the pickup trucks, it's a failure. So that 1.4 billion losses is pretty much the same as Patagonia's entire revenue for the same year. So you can see the difference of connecting and not connecting. It's not to do with the rights and wrongs of their purpose or their cause. It's does it connect with the people you want to talk to? This stuff has been true always, really. You always needed to connect with the audiences. But right now, in particular, it's becoming more and more important. And the reason is it's getting harder because we are living in an age of cultural change and cultural fragmentation. We're sort of leaving the age of mass media, with 1 or 2 exceptions, certain big audience uniting TV events, but largely speaking, we're leaving the age of mass culture, mass media, shared understanding. Increasingly what we're getting is we all live in our own bubbles, fueled by people who agree with us on social media and go, oh yeah, this is really good, isn't it? Or this is really bad. And your neighbour, or the person sitting next to you, might think complete opposite and have loads of people on social media who agree with them. So in this age, it's harder than ever to establish and maintain a competitive advantage. And there's a whole load of other things going on within culture, within business, within the world, which will take me the whole session to talk about, but very broadly speaking, you cannot sustain product advantage indefinitely. You make a great product, often nowadays you outsource it to a factory in China, and that factory in China will make something the same for someone else, or make it themselves and sell it off cheaper. Anything you want to buy nowadays, if you search online for it, you can find a dupe or a lookalike copy that's half the price or less than half the price. I've worked with brand Lululemon, and they have a massive problem with people doing exact copies of their leggings, their Align leggings that they make. So you can't be cheaper than them. You cannot, as I said earlier, you cannot, if you're an entrepreneur brand, you can't spend more than the mega brands. And you can't be more famous than social media influencers. In particular, what you're getting now is a rise of content creator brands. So things like Mr. Beast has a range of confectionery. God knows what the link there is between Mr. Beast and confectionery, but you know, so it's really hard if you don't have massive budgets. What I want to talk about is in this world, how to be smarter in the way you connect with consumer culture. How to really do it, even though your budget isn't the size of someone else's, how to connect better. So the first way, I say, is seize the moment. And some of these things are not new. Some of these things are new with a twist, and some are sort of quite new. But let me give you an example of a brand that's seized the moment. You may have been aware of this in the news recently. Okay, so the gang of thieves stole this machine here, cherry picker, drove it to the Louvre, climbed up and sort of went away with like loads of like historic treasures. You know, and that's really it's bad news for the authorities, who some of their staff were thought to have been colluding with the thieves. Bad news also for this company, this Boca or Burka, if you pronounce it, because the umlaut's on the O, Boca. You know, what PR for their company? The first thing everyone saw of their brand was this stolen thing parked outside the Louvre. It's like absolute PR disaster, or it could be a PR disaster. Because what they then did is they launched this ad. So if you're in a hurry, the Boca Egilo carries your treasures up to 400 kilograms at whatever, you know, quiet as a whisper. So, you know, it carries a lot and it's really quiet. So it's a really nice sort of clever tactical thing. And it got massive publicity around the world. I don't know how much, I mean, they didn't spend a lot on art direction or whatever, but, you know, it got publicity everywhere around the entire world. So, and this sort of stuff has been around for a while, this sort of thing. I mean, let me give you let's go back 30 years to a time when Ian Botham was playing cricket and he admitted to smoking dope in one of the Sunday papers and he got banned, okay, for a couple of months. It was big news. Pretty much the next day, and this is an ad you couldn't run nowadays, pretty much the next day, this appeared in the press. I mean, you couldn't show someone smoking, you shouldn't go, you know, a sportsman anyway, but that was legal then, and it worked. You know, again, massive publicity around the world. Thing about this is really great if your brand, if there's something happens like today, tomorrow that really links to your brand, you can jump on it and do something like that, and you will get massive publicity. There's a sort of caveat is you cannot depend on something like that happening. You know, you could wait a week, you could wait a month, you could wait 10 years, you could wait forever and it will never happen. So be aware you could be in for a long wait. Be prepared when it comes, but you cannot plan for it. So which brings us on to number 2, which is plan ahead. And the idea behind this is really you look for a predictable event that's coming up and you think, okay, this could be a good fit with our brand here. And sort of, I don't know, who here has seen the TV series Severance? Yeah, a good few nods. I will say, you know, that you are the audience for Severance to a large extent. What you're looking for is, you know, young urban professionals who understand you know, what it's like to work in an office that's all demanding and how it separates you from the outside world. Who here has an Apple computer? See, again, yeah, like I was Apple's marketing team. I go, look, young urban professionals, the sort of people who use Apple, sort of people who like Severance, boom, perfect match. So what they did, they set up in Grand Central Terminal in New York. They set up this. They set up a Severance office. So the actual actors from the show, and it was actually, I mean, it was. They completely ignored what was going on out there because that's what it's like in Severance as well, and it's absolute. Perfect. This is for the upcomings, the last season when it was upcoming. So they run that, and that again, they got massive publicity and perfect fit with the brand. Let's go a bit closer to home. Oasis, the you know big stuff in the news about the brothers getting together, the tour and everything. Back in the day, one of the brands that was really associated with them was Adidas. Okay, you know, they got Adidas trainers and tops and everything. So it was almost a no-brainer for Adidas to get together with Oasis and create a range of merch. My daughter's got one of these actually. It's and they, it did wonders for the brand. It did wonders for Adidas. It was everyone was a winner out of this, and people spent a fortune on them. One last one. Another TV show, one of those shows that is a rare connecting moment in an increasingly fragmented culture is Love Island. Okay, and the sort of people who watch it, I mean, probably includes a lot of people here, but also a lot of younger people who are earlier in their career as well, sometimes a bit financially stretched as well, all around the country, not just in London, but all in the provinces, but want to look good. So a really nice match with eBay's pre-loved fashion for Love Island. So it's a really nice connection, and they got the right audience, the right show, and that worked really well. Now, there is the last one I talked about, the seize the moment. There was a caveat to that, which is you can't bank on it happening. Caveat to this is big things like Taylor Swift's Eras Tour or Love Island coming up. Everyone knows they're coming up. I mean, everyone knows they'll be quite big. So everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon. And the problem you might have as well as an entrepreneurial brand is brands with deeper pockets, but maybe a less well fit with the event, can shunt you out, can get a bigger publicity from it and everything. So, they're always bandwagon jumpers. Failures from bandwagon jumping. So, if you're so big you want to slap your logo on everything that's coming up, like the rise of artificial intelligence. So McDonald's thought, great. This is the coming thing. Let's create the first ever AI ad, which they did, which I think it lasted 2 days, 1 day. Everyone absolutely hated it because it was creepy and weird, and they had no reason to be. As the difference, like Adidas has a reason to be with Oasis. McDonald's has no reason to be with AI. It doesn't give anything to McDonald's. Doesn't give anything to the brand. It doesn't to the technology. So there you go. So there's 2 ways of doing things. You can actually drive cultural momentum. You can actually create stuff. And there's a number of brands out there that over a long period of time have actually done that. Red Bull. So for about 44 years they've been around. And they've consistently created events. So rather than just piggybacking other people's events, they've created events that have helped. The product is a high energy, adrenaline providing drink. The people they speak to are like extreme sports enthusiasts, and so Formula One, wingsuit flying, and this here, it was a 22-story building in Brazil. And it looks a bit like a skateboard ramp. So what they did, they actually surfaced it with plywood and turned it into the world's biggest skateboard ramp. And they got this guy to drop in off the top of it, and that's a view from the top. There you go. Those are 3 ways of doing things. Or one more I'll give you. So Fortnite. Okay, they created an in-gaming experience that added to its consumers' culture, which was a concert, a live stream concert with Travis Scott, and they launched a new song as well. 12.3 million players all came to that in-game event at the same time. So anyway, I'm wrapping up now. It's about the brand and the event, whatever it is, fitting perfectly together. In a world in which unifying cultural moments are very few and far between nowadays, in a fragmented marketplace where rivals will copy you, undercut you, outspend you and outfame you, being smarter in how you capture culture is your biggest commercial opportunity. And I think probably about 9 million hours over time. I'm done. Thank you.